The athletes of today are making out okay. They said to the owners, you've got yours, that's fine. Now give me what I think is mine. Oh yeah, give me what I think is mine. A way long time ago, they played the game for fun. But now it's a business, it's pay as you go. And they take the money and run. Hit, shoot, skate. And it's get what you can at the gate. Oh yeah, get what you can at the gate.
We have a little surprise to close out the show tonight. It's our way of saying, with all the problems we have in the world and facing our own lives every day, the one crime we don't want to commit is taking ourselves too seriously. We hope you enjoy it. Television is an exciting field and we always strive to do our best, but sometimes we fall just a little bit short of perfection. We thought as we're heading into 1983, this might be a good time to take a look back at some of those moments that left a lot of room for improvement. To start with, let's check one of those smoothly read newscasts.
The concept of Medicaid is medical aid to the poor, and the cost is shared between the state and federal government. Oh, excuse me, I've lost my sheet here. Thank you, I've got it. And the federal government.
Then there are those occasional Freudian slips.
The quarterback situation, everybody always talks about it. Last year, two-quarter
Sometimes we remember our guest's name, we just forget how to pronounce it. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Rochelle and Mark Parenteau right after this break, talking about John Lennon and his legacy for peace. Stay with us. Sometimes a picture isn't worth 1,000 words.
And protests against school department layoffs were expressed loudly and clearly in two of our area cities Monday night. In Somerville, nearly 200 people, many of them friends and colleagues of the 95 city teachers who received notices of termination on Monday, stormed the Somerville School Committee meeting.
And sometimes it's just a small technical problem.
Today we have selected a great young cartoonist, Paul Marks. So let's give him a nice hand. Get yourself comfortable, Paul. And I think that you came unduddy with your microphone. Paul's microphone fell off.
Okay. Dog and cat lovers are constantly arguing about which one makes the best pet. This next clip just might help you make up your mind, but keep your eye on Timmy the cat. Where'd you go?
Timmy was brought into our law enforcement department, which would have taken him to our Boston shelter. There are 8 shelters throughout the state. There's a great deal of abuse through ignorance sometimes, through carelessness. The animal involved there is often regarded as less important than your pet or some other species. After all, it's just a calf. And it's going to be killed anyway, they say, to be eaten. That doesn't mean it should be abused on its way. Oh, no, that's just play. That's just his
really had a reaction to that.
In these next 2 clips, watch as our bold and confident hosts prepare to bear down on their helpless guests.
Welcome back. I just wanted to say that I'm Ben Bacon. I'm the new host of City Journal, along with Emily Barkin, who's not with us this week, but she will be back next week. And I'm glad to be the host, and I look forward to seeing you in the weeks to come.
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. Within this ever expanding circle of friends, people meet each week to offer their talents, their knowledge, their experience, and their friendship. You can join this circle by sending me a stamped, self-addressed envelope, and I will send you a free official membership card. Now today we are on the Mason-Dixon line. And unlike the Civil War period, the fate of a nation is not at stake, but the fate of this program is. So, Mr. Dixon, this is up to us. By now, you know that I'm talking with Harry Ellis Dixon, the founder and conductor of the youth concerts at Symphony Hall and associate conductor of the Boston Pops. Mr. Dixon, you've been a member of the Boston Symphony Orchestra for many years.
Every kid dreams of dropping back against the wall, reaching up and making that great catch to rob someone of a home run. This next clip is from a game between the Lynn Sailors and the Waterbury Reds. Our announcers are John Sapichetti and Jim Willoughby. Watch what happens.
Full count now to Skeeter Barnes, 3-2. Leadoff hitter in the second inning for the Waterbury Reds. Waterbury, of course, the only AA team for the Cincinnati club. Indianapolis is their AAA team, and they have 4 A squads. Hit to left field, Kevin King. Makes the catch right at the wall.
He made that look easy, John.
Well.
Kevin King drifted back on that ball, oblivious to the fence, and caught it right up against the paint. Here it is again. You can see the ball. High, long fly ball. Carries well today. King's back. Oh, it's over. Home run.
Home run.
We saw that in the replay. Everybody missed that one, John.
Oh. Excuse us for our mistake. We both thought he caught the ball. I did.
Good thing we have the videotape replay here.
Well, we all make mistakes. Optical illusions.
Must be that sun glare today.
Well, it's 1-0, Waterbury.
Innovation and experimentation is something we strive for in the TV business, but it's good to be careful when dealing with the forces of nature, especially in a TV studio. A good rule of thumb is test your innovation before you go on the air.
But I think one of the things that we are going to do that's never been done before on television, and certainly this is going to be a first for cable television, and that is that we are going to burn the mortgage with the old looking bucket. Now, do you want to do that?
I'll hold it.
You hold it and I'll light it.
Okay.
And we're going to burn it and drop it in the replica of the old oaken bucket. And there goes a mortgage representing $92,000 worth of effort.
That's right.
Isn't that something?
And that makes me feel pretty good.
All right, you want to drop it?
It isn't doing it.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's better. It isn't going to do it either. It really got going.
Okay. Well.
There it is.
It's like an old looking bucket barbecue.
Oh, it's going. I'd leave the cover on it, wouldn't you? Take a break. Take a break.
We'll be back in just a moment. And we put this fire out here.
I think you better.
It's out there. It's out there.
Well, all's well that ends well. We hope you enjoyed some of these special moments from 1982. And who knows, 1983 could prove to be a very interesting year. Good night.
Hey, that's not the credits music. Where's the credits music? That's the wrong sound of music. You got it yet? Hey, what are they? Get those dogs out of here! Get those dogs in the studio! Jesus. Give me a break. What is wrong with you guys?
I am sick. We are sick. We are sick. We are sick. 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 Like we're sociologically sick.
Anything else wrong with you?
We're destroyed. We're destroyed. We're the most destroyed. Like
This place is a circus. Oh, can I have some credit music, please? I'm gonna scream.
Good night, Mr. Rushnitz.
Cute, Ronnie.
You've all seen it. The headline in the newspaper says, "Man on trial for rape of child at swimming pool." What kind of negative impression do we get from that, especially if the accused is found innocent? John Gatto of Medford suffered such an ordeal. Accused of raping an 11-year-old girl at a crowded MDC pool with 6 lifeguards on duty, it took a jury barely 2 hours to find him innocent of all charges, 1.5 years after his original arrest. We talked to Mr. Gatto and his attorney about suffering this kind of ordeal. John, you were accused of raping an 11-year-old girl in a public MDC swimming pool. Between the time you were charged and the time you were found not guilty, it was a whole 1.5 years. What kind of an impact has that had on your life?
I felt shame, I felt guilt, I felt embarrassed, you know, because I knew my name. I was just starting to kind of like get my little niche in society. I had a good job. My wife was very supportive to me, and you know, we had a baby, and we did a lot of things together, and you know, I was just starting to get my life turned around the way it's supposed to be. But then when this thing came down on me like this, it just turned my life right around the opposite way.
How did people react to you on the street after they found out about the charges?
The ones that really knew me couldn't believe it, you know, but they knew, you know, deep down inside that I didn't do anything wrong. And I knew deep down inside I didn't do nothing wrong, but it's the other people, the ones the hypocrites, the two-face, you know, they'll say, "Hi to you, John, how are you?" But they won't care how you really are, you know what I mean? They just say it just for the sake of saying it. They don't want to, you know, they'll say hi to you in front of you and they'll talk like crazy behind your back. And this is the drift that, I mean, I wasn't getting it. You can feel it in the air, you know. You go outside to mow the lawn and people would walk by, and instead of stopping and having a 5-minute conversation with you, they'd just keep on walking right by. I felt it's empty. I felt empty inside me, you know.
You were married at the time and you had a child. What kind of an influence did this have on your marriage?
We had a very good, happy marriage. I believe that we really did have a good marriage up to a year and a half ago. And then it started going downhill because the pressure that my wife was feeling, she showed it, you know what I mean? She used to come home from a bingo night or something, and she would start crying to me, and she'd say, "Well, do you know what I heard?" Or she'd talk to someone that read in the paper, and they'd say something, and a wise remark, and it was really getting to her. I didn't show it because I didn't want to show it to my wife. I wanted to try to be the stronger of the two. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want her to think that I was weak deep down inside me. But it ate me up like you couldn't believe, you know.
John, you have been in Walpole. You've been guilty of a number of crimes. How did this play into the situation with the charges that you were faced with?
I knew that the district attorney would bring up his prior record, so that I thought that there was nothing but to put him on the stand. He wanted to take the stand. He wanted to deny this incident. And so as a result, the record had an impact in court because the jury knew exactly what kind of a man we were dealing with. And the most significant part of his record is that there was nothing, absolutely nothing dealing with any sexual assault, absolutely nothing dealing with any hint of attacking little girls or any other female. So I think the jury just accepted the fact that what we had here was a prior crook, not a rapist.
Facing an experience like this, a man like yourself is trying to put his life together financially. How much did this cost you?
My lawyer charged me $5,000 for this. I would have paid him $10,000 because I knew that I didn't do anything wrong.
John, a man has a sexual assault charge facing him. I'm just wondering, how does this affect your sex life?
It really destroyed it. You know, it's hard to hold someone and love them, but not love them the way you want to love them. You know what I mean? You want to love them with all your heart, but you don't have it in you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So you think it was your fear of possibly going to jail and that you couldn't reach out to her? In other words, you were afraid to reach out with her because you...
I'm reaching out to her now.
I noticed while I was working with the two of them during that year and a half, I could see the tension building between them. I could see the supportiveness of the wife. She did a lot of groundwork. She did a lot of the running around, a lot of the investigating work. But it was there. The pressure was there. The pressures from what other people would say to her, and she'd relate those stories to me. Plus the fact that she wasn't in the pool every single minute she was with her children. I suppose she could have had doubts as to whether or not something might have happened when she wasn't looking.
How do you feel about all the attention you got in the newspapers?
News media, whether it be TV or newspapers, I think for the most part are trying to do their job and trying to report incidents because it is of social importance. However, I would say that you must read these things strictly as a story. People should not form an opinion simply because they see a name in the paper. I would say with this particular case, when they read that John Gatto was charged with the most serious crime, they should not have then, and they should more especially now, understand that that was a newspaper simply reporting charges. They should not have formed an opinion, and now they should absolutely know that he has been acquitted. not acquitted because of a technicality, but acquitted because of his innocence.
How do you feel about the girl who brought these charges against you?
I feel that she needs some kind of help. That's what I really do. Because, I mean, if this little girl says this now, you know, she might say this again some other day and ruin someone else's life. I feel that, I feel sorry for her, I really do. I mean, you know, I kind of like hated it, you know, naturally you hate someone that says that you did something to them when you know that you didn't do anything. It was just that, you know, where would I stand, you know? I'm a man, naturally, okay, because of my record. If I was somebody else, they probably would have never went that far in the first place. They would have said, oh, just an 11-year-old girl fantasizing about something happening to her, you know? But it went way beyond that. It ruined my whole life and my family, so.
John, is there anything else that you want to add?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you for everything that everybody's done for me. And it's really rough being out in the street with, you know, with no one to love you. And I just hope that my wife will realize that someday. Thank you.